Hi beautiful people, my name is Hani Kholia and this is the ninth video on my channel MSCRM Booster. So in this video again I'm going to cover important interview questions related to Dynamics 365. So this video is in a continuation with my earlier video which I've started as a plugin series. So that was the first part and this is the second part. So in the first part I've covered information about SDK and information about plugin, what exactly plugin is. So if in case you have not watched my video, I would recommend you to watch my earlier video, and in the continuation of the earlier video I have started this video also. So in this video again I'm going to cover some important interview questions which are really important, which developers should know about whenever they go for any interview. So let's continue with this video. So here I have collected topics to be covered in this video. First, creating connection with the plugin registration tool. Registering assembly in plugin registration tool. Understanding each steps involved in registering plugin assembly. So what plugin is again a wide topic, so I cannot cover that topic within a single video. So that is why I'm making short videos to make it more understandable and time saving basically. So here, creating connection with plugin registration tool. So as we know, to register a plugin, we need plugin registration tool. So this particular tool is available inside SDK, and SDK comes with the version of Dynamics 365 or MSCRM you can say. So whatever version of MSCRM you're using, you need to have SDK with that version only. So let's continue. So first, creating connection with plugin registration tool. So before that, it depends on whether you're using on-premise version of MSCRM or you're using online MSCRM. So there are some prerequisites which need to be considered before creating any connection with plugin registration tool. So like the plugin code should be created and built inside Visual Studio software. So plugin code should be ready. So that is called as an assembly. Latest .NET framework should be installed in respective local computer or server. Framework is required because it supports assembly, so it's needed. Path to reach plugin registration tool. So basically SDK extracted folder, plugin registration folder, plugin registration.exe application. So I'll show you in the folder which I have downloaded related to SDK. So this is the downloads folder in which I have extracted SDK. So as you can see, I'll go to plugin registration folder. Here I can see plugin registration application.exe. This is the tool, and tool will look like this. So question comes in mind that how we can create a connection with plugin registration tool. So step 1, open plugin registration tool, click on create new connection. I'll show you. So this is the tool. I want the plugin registration tool. So I'll click on create new connection. So if I click on create new connection, you can see it is showing me deployment type, means to making plugin registration tool identify what is your deployment type for MSCRM. So whether it's on-premise or office. You can see on on-premise we have options like server. We have to give the server name, port, use SSL authentication source. It can be Active Directory, internet facing deployment, OAuth, Active Directory in which we make users. Internet facing deployment means this plugin should work when we are using CRM on browser. Authentication is like that option only, and sign in with current user in case if we have any on-premise CRM with us. So if you click on sign in with current user, it will sign in with the administrative user ID and password. Otherwise you can mention username or password if you are selecting the authentication source as internet facing deployment. And domain name is a name which you give while creating organization name, basically it shows there. And display list of available organizations. In case you have more than one organization, it will display a list of organizations, more than one, because I don't have more than one, so it's not showing me. and it's not even on-premise version. I have just the test version of Dynamics 365 with me. So if I click on Office 365, it is for online MSCRM, online Dynamics 365. So we have options like sign in as current user, display list of available organizations, show advanced. If I click on show advanced, so like this, I have to select my region, username and password. Username is like which ID have registered while using my Dynamics 365 trial version. So I need to mention the username and the password which I have registered with Microsoft. So that I need to mention here. So once I put details in here, because I'm using on-premise version, sorry, online version, so I'll click on login. Like here. So created connection. Now you can see I have options like register, because if I have more than one organization, it will show name here of other organization. I have only one organization in the name of Alexa, so I mention name here. I click on register new assembly. So when we'll look after the steps. So like here, I've told you deployment type, on-premise or for online. Sorry, on-premise for on-premise MSCRM and Office 365 for online. Once logged in, check for your organization name. One can have more than one organization. Organization can be created inside Deployment Manager, but you should have administrative rights to create an organization inside Deployment Manager. Select specific organization in which you want to create a plugin. Selecting your organization, then only the plugin will work in that particular organization. These are the steps involved. Next is registering assembly in plugin registration tool. So topic 2 is like this. So once I click on this option of register, all these options will be visible, like register new assembly, register new step, register new image, register new service endpoint, register new webhook, register new data provider. So all these options will be visible. So like here, click on register new assembly. So this option is required when we want to register a plugin. So registering a plugin inside assembly is important, then only we can proceed with other steps. And I'll let you know about other steps also, but mostly as question is related to assembly only. So once I click on assembly, we need to keep these things in mind, and this should be ready with us. Like first option comes is like I'll click on register new assembly. Specify the location of the assembly to analyze. Assembly means our you can say C# code which we have written and built inside Visual Studio software, that known as an assembly here. Registering new assembly is like specify the location of the assembly to analyze. Means is like create a .NET Framework class library project in Visual Studio. So I'll let you know about this thing in next video. So we need to create a .NET Framework class library inside Visual Studio. So this .NET Framework class library will include C# code, and it will include information what exactly action needs to be taken with the help of that code. Add the Microsoft.crm.sdk.core assemblies NuGet package to the project. We need to add some assemblies, Microsoft assemblies inside that project so that it can work. So I'll help you with this also in coming video. Implement the iPlugin interface on classes that will be registered as steps. So iPlugin interface should be used within that class in which we are writing our C# code inside Visual Studio. That is most important. Add your code to the execute method required by the interface. So execute method is used to execute any particular action which are referenced within a class. Get references to services you need, depends on your code. Add your business logic, whatever logic you want to give inside that code. Sign in build assembly, test assembly. This comes in the inside Visual Studio software only. Register assembly in a test environment. Add your registered assembly and steps to an unmanaged solution. This will be added inside MSCRM. After registering, test the behavior of the assembly, verify expected trace logs are written, debug the assembly as needed. So this is the information related to assembly only. Assembly means C# code which we are writing inside Visual Studio software. This will be added. Once I click on register new assembly, I will load assembly. Sorry. I will find out where exactly assembly is stored. So in that case only, I've written is any assembly.dll file will be added. Let's look out for the next steps. So next step is select the plugin and workflow activities to register. So you can see select the plugin and workflow activities to register. So once I load assembly DLL file which I've created here, so it will show me the classes. Classes means the plugin code will be included in their classes. That's why it's showing classes or any work activities or workflow activities there. So there will be checkboxes. So I need to select which checkbox exactly it is. So on that basis, that class will be included. If you want to exclude any particular class from that DLL, we can uncheck that. So it will include checkboxes here. So when I will writing and registering everything related to plugin, I will include things here only. Next is specify the isolation mode, means security restrictions put on a plugin. So we have two options like sandbox and none. So sandbox means isolated environment, and none means there is no restrictions or no isolation. Sandbox isolated environment plugin registered in isolation mode runs on a separate service. So it has got its own space to execute the process. It has reduced functionality and a partial trust of MSCRM. So reduced functionality means plugin which is registered inside isolation mode, that is sandbox. So it will have reduced functionality. It cannot access everything related to MSCRM or every DLL or every functionality inside it. So as I just told you that sandbox has reduced functionality and partial trust of MSCRM. So below are the restrictions imposed on a plugin when registered in isolated mode. So first of all, we should know that isolated mode can be applied on online CRM as well as on-premise CRM. But in online CRM, we cannot select none option. But in on-premise CRM, we can select both. We can select either sandbox or either none. So it provides that facility inside on-premise. So system event log can't be accessed if there is any reference to system event log in plugin code. Certain network protocols, registry, you cannot access any other DLLs. You cannot call any web service from within a sandbox plugin. IP addresses cannot be accessed or cannot be used. Only the HTTP and HTTPS protocols are allowed. In isolated mode, you cannot call any external DLLs or DLLs in the GAC. So GAC is basically this option available here. So isolation mode for sandbox is only for the online version, and none is for the on-premise, and on-premise can use either sandbox or none. So sandbox in simple terms is like means allowing administrator to run or to execute its plugin within a limited region and with limited functionality. So it has restrictions which I have mentioned right now in this particular window. So mention all these restrictions which are imposed on a plugin that is registered in online version. So none, basically there is no security restrictions, full trust by MSCRM, full access to all functionalities of MSCRM. So if we select none, so we have no restrictions and MSCRM fully trust on that particular plugin. So it allows plugin to be used and plugin to access everything related to CRM, whatever code actually requires. So I told you, notice like on-premise CRM will allow you to run plugin in or out of sandbox mode, whereas online Microsoft hosted solution will only run in sandbox mode. So in this way, we can put restrictions on a plugin related to security if we specify whether it's sandbox or none. Next is third step, specify the location where assembly should be stored. So like this, we have option inside plugin registration tool. while registering assembly, there is specify the location where assembly should be stored. So it allows database, disk or GAC. So we should know what exactly database, disk or GAC are. So because these are mostly asked in interviews. So let's check for it. So database like if you're using Azure database, or Azure database is for online version, and for on-premise we normally use SQL Server. SQL Server database supports both Dynamics 365 and online on-premise. Plugin is secured and stored in Dynamics 365 database itself. You can backup and restore the database with plugin. So if you'll backup and restore the database, the plugin will also be restored if it is stored inside database option. You can include your plugin into a solution and move to another environment by solution import. So this can also be happen inside database because both the environments are on the same database. When you update any plugin, you don't need to do IIS reset to reflect the changes in the application level. There is no need for IIS reset if we update anything inside a plugin. You can refer external DLL from the disk and the GAC. You can refer external DLL from the disk and from GAC. So if you want to refer any external DLL which is available within the code which is written inside or saved inside disk or GAC, the external DLL is there, we can refer to them as well if we are storing our plugin inside database. Next is GAC, which is termed as Global Assembly Cache. So a plugin stored in GAC does not support Dynamics 365 Online. So means if I am using Dynamics 365 Online, I cannot store basically GAC. Within GAC, it will show me error. Plugin does not backed up with database. Plugin assembly stored in GAC of the server. So database backup or restore will not restore your plugin. So basically, because we are not saving our plugin inside database, so when we restore the database or do any backup and restore our database, plugin will also not be restored because it is stored inside global assembly cache. You cannot add your plugin with your solution, which means you always have to copy and register DLL where you want to deploy in other environment, because I cannot move through with the help of solution from one environment to other if I am saving my plugin inside global assembly cache. In case of GAC deployment, you always need to do IIS restart for any update of your plugin. So this one is also an additional step if we are storing in global assembly caching. Registering plugin in GAC does not mean that you can access any external DLL. You can only refer the DLL which you have referenced at the time of plugin development. So external DLLs cannot be referenced while we are saving plugin inside global assembly cache. So it is like a folder which is available inside SDK. So if we store our plugin in that particular thing, so it will not support all these things. So in comparison till now, I can see the database is more reliable option to store our plugin. Next is disk option is also there. So disk does not support Dynamics CRM Online. So again for online, I have only this option available. Similar like GAC does not back up with the database. So again, doing backup and restoring my plugin, restoring my solution or restoring my database will not restore my plugin. You cannot add your plugin with your solution, which means you always have to copy the DLL and register using plugin registration tool when you want to deploy it to another environment. The same thing, and because I'm saving inside a disk. In case of GAC deployment, you always need to restart when you update your plugin. So basically, in case of disk deployment, always need to restart for any update of your plugin. So again, same like GAC. You can refer external DLL from the disk and from the GAC if I'm storing my plugin inside disk. So in this way, these steps are available inside registering new assembly, and we should know in detail about these steps because these are usually asked during interviews. So brief or detailed information is necessary. That's why I have informed everything in this video. So we have step 5 also, that is log. And log basically means it will show errors. If in case I face any error while registering my assembly, it will show error in that, like this. So the option to register assembly is not visible here because of some display issue. So we can use tab button. Once we select our assembly, then we can use tab button to select different options. Then after log, we have two buttons available, cancel and other is register assembly. So if you click on register assembly, the assembly will be registered. So I'll be registering a plugin with the help of a code, particular sample code, which I'll show you in my coming series of videos. So stay connected for that. So basically in this video I have covered plugin registration tool related information, and how we can register an assembly, and informed you in detail about each step. So I hope this video is helpful for you. If in case you find it helpful, do like the video and subscribe the channel. And I'm starting making third and fourth series also. These are also in queue as of now. So thank you for watching this video till here. Have a very happy weekend. Thank you.